Amables televidentes que nos escuchan, audiencia, nutrida audiencia interesada en las elecciones de la ciudad de Dallas, previstas para el próximo 1 de mayo. Los electores están dando a conocer lo que les interesa y lo que les preocupa. Voy a traducir esto en inglés y en español, porque tenemos aquí, ante nuestros micrófonos y nuestras cámaras, a un pastor que es muy respetado en la comunidad del distrito 6 District, ¿correcto? Yes. El distrito 6, aquí que abarca una gran porción de la zona también de West Dallas. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you a very well-respected pastor, Mr. Thomas. Welcome to our program, Political Radar Político. What is the most important issues you see that are really a difficulty in preventing the benefits, the equal opportunity into business, city services, public safety, economic development? Tell us about your views, please, Pastor. Introduce yourself and tell us about also why you are running for office.
My name is Earl D. Thomas, pastor here at the Mountaintop home of the New Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church. Thank you for having me. Always an honor and a pleasure. I'm right here from West Dallas. I've been in District 6 over 30 years. My family has been a part of District 6 for literally over 100 years, from my great-grandparents all the way down to my children. So I care. That's why I'm running. I care. And someone asked me that question yesterday. I said, Pastor, why are you running for city council? You know, your purpose is so much greater than a political office. You know, your assignment is so much bigger than politics. And Pastor, you're not even a politician. No, I'm not. And that's why. As long as racism is a topic of conversation in our country, somebody like me is always going to have something to say about it. And we talk about these issues and disparities. The truth of the matter is the effect of it is not really what we need to be focusing on. It's the cause, the root of it, and that's racism, separation, you know, things of that nature, divisiveness, division. We gotta address and attack those. Forget an uncomfortable conversation. There's nobody in the world more uncomfortable than black people and people who are taken advantage of. So I stand for those people that don't have a voice, that don't feel like their vote matters, like their vote counts. I stand for anybody, whether black, white, brown, whatever, who says, look, we want help, we want to be a part, and we want progress too.
Thank you, Pastor. Very interesting. Les voy a, bueno, ya lo escucharon su punto de vista en inglés y ahora en español. Él está prácticamente denunciando la falta de oportunidades, el racismo, la división, el control, el sufrimiento y las situaciones que están afectando a las minorías, particularmente el racismo contra la comunidad que es afroamericana y también otras minorías. No dejan de ser también personas que son afectadas, los hispanos, los de ascendencia asiática y las minorías en general. Él está buscando más oportunidades. Él tiene una gran congregación de gente que vienen aquí a su iglesia y la gente le pregunta, ¿pero por qué te vas a meter en política? No eres político. Y él dice, tienen razón, no soy político, pero me preocupa, me concierne. Yo quiero estar en el concilio para atender a la gente que ha sido prácticamente olvidada, rezagada en nuestra sociedad, aquí en el distrito 6 de Dallas. What you can do to change this? Yes, Pastor.
Did you just translate everything I said?
Yes, sir.
Wow, you're good. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, you know, this is a very direct and transparent and clear translation about what you're saying.
Okay.
And some words are not exactly the words used. Some of them are bolder. and actually, I'm trying to just make sure that the audience, the voters you're reaching out, and those citizens that they are undecided or that they do not know what to do or to whom to seek help or advice. Well, here you are.
Absolutely.
So what other things that are really, really very disturbing in District 6?
Leadership, better, stronger, wiser leadership. I hear the word experience a lot. So what? You know, it's time for something not just different, not just new, but better. It has to be about the people. When it's not about the people, we have to look at leadership and say, wait, the people don't need to change first. The leadership needs to change first. And you just said a thing, who the people need to reach out to, who the people need to find when they want to know things. That's supposed to be a job for city council and leaders in and of our community. But here in District 6, we have such a divided group of leaders who have played on each other's intelligence and insulted each other's morals, thinking that taking pictures and having photo ops is what's benefiting the community. And it's not. You know, it's good, it's easy, it's cool to hand out sack lunches and things that are help for right now. But what about from 2 to 5 years from now? Where will our children be? They'll be a little bit older, we'll be a little bit older. And what would our living conditions be like? What would our education system be like for us, the people that's actually in the community? We're doing everything for the businesses and things like that, but what are we doing for the pre-existing homes? What are we doing for the churches that are actually out here making a difference? What are we doing for the schools that they would close up for the children that actually live in this community? But when a natural disaster happens on the other side of town, they pass a whole bunch of schools up only to reopen the school that they thought wasn't fit enough to occupy its pre-existing students. It's things like that. There's too many homeless people on the street for there not to be help from leadership. There are too many black and brown people being neglected and rejected from jobs and opportunities and access to the resources that are already there for the leadership not to stand up and take a stand. So it's bigger than politics. I hate politics, to be honest. I rather preach. But in that, the leader, the servant leader, rises up in me and say, hey, look, if nobody else is going to do it, then maybe I need to implement myself here.
Well, do you have some historical thoughts about, for example, Martin Luther King? Mm-hmm. You know, or other pastors that they been empowered and they are part of history. So if that is inspiration from you, perhaps also it passes on your constituents.
Absolutely.
Bien, estaba comentando nuevamente y haciendo énfasis el pastor Thomas de que las oportunidades no están accesibles a la gente del pueblo, tan sencillo como eso. El liderazgo no existe. El liderazgo simplemente está enfocado en fotografías de oportunidad, publicidad que solo beneficia al mal liderazgo que según sus declaraciones ha estado en el gobierno hasta hoy y esto no es algo nuevo. 30 años o más el candidato Thomas observado, vivido y escuchado a la comunidad de East Dallas. Los negocios, las escuelas están deterioradas, no hay oportunidades para los niños, aquellos que no tienen casa, los homeless, se sigue empeorando la situación, sus condiciones, su estado psíquico, en fin, y no hay ningún tipo de soluciones. Entonces, ¿qué está haciendo el liderazgo? ¿Para quién está trabajando? So, the leadership, what is there working for them? I mean, all you said, it reflects the lack of interest, the lack of really concern from the incumbents, previous administrations. So now, what do you suggest?
So brief history.
Yes, sir.
If you go right outside of the doors to my church, the best by far city councilwoman, her name was Maddie Nash. You remember Maddie Nash?
Yes, sir.
Her house was right across the street, literally. That's even more inspiration as to what a leader in the community should be like, in the district, what a leader in the district, what a leader in the city should look like. I stopped asking for a solution or trying to find a solution, and I just decided to become the solution. So whatever that looks like, purpose comes with it.
So technically speaking, you haven't been heard from the current or previous leadership over the years.
I met the incumbent. I don't really know him like that. I met him a couple of years ago. The way we met, I mean, it was roundabout. And I don't think if I would have ever even considered running for city council a couple of years ago, I would have never met him. I was at a meeting and I introduced myself, long story short. I introduced myself and said who I was, where I was from, what it is that I do. And the last statement that I made was, I'm considering running for City Council District 6. This was around 5, 6 o'clock that evening. Around 6:30 a.m. the next morning, I got a phone call saying, hey, where were you? Were you at a meeting yesterday? Such and such called such and such, and the incumbent asked, who are you? And what do you want? And I'm like, huh? Who is this guy? I'm being honest. I didn't know anything about city council, a lot of politics. All I knew is that people were supposed to be treated right. Not just fairly, but right, in the community, in the city, in this district, and other districts alike. So I met and I decided to support this incumbent. And from those 2 years, to now, the only thing that has developed in District 6 are the big buildings, the big apartment complexes, but not the people. That's not good.
So, in other words, we're looking out there at City Council, and the very ones that you supported, they are sellouts to the best bidder. Well, I have the perception, and it's not because it's coming from you and not exactly, the word by word, but the facts reveal. Reveal what I'm saying now. But not only that, I have heard that from other, people in the community, and also from other candidates.
They say, Pastor, it ain't about you politicking and campaigning, because I don't have to do that. They always see me every day, everything, everywhere in the community. I don't make it my business to be seen. I make it my business to help. So they ask, what you gonna do when you get in there? Or are we gonna see you like we see you now? Or are we gonna hear from you like we hear from you now? I didn't have to get out and, which I block walk, but I don't have to do a whole bunch of block walking, because I'm always out in somebody's yard. Hey, how you doing? What you need? Oh, hey, I need help. Could you get some information? Could you mind doing this, Pastor? I don't mind, because that's what I do, My plan is to still be there for the people, even while strategizing how to help, how to develop, how to allow and push and inspire people to become what they want to become. Some folk don't know what's out there because all they see are the disparities that's in here, in our district, in our neighborhoods, in our communities. There's no connection from the businesses and the schools, the police departments, the neighbors, the churches. It's all kind of all over the place right now. And then being right in the middle of election season, some people don't understand that they're not being exposed to something good. You're being exposed for who you really are and what your agenda is. I don't have a political agenda. I only have a people assignment.
Muy importante y con mucha sustancia los comentarios del candidato Thomas. Él está refiriéndose y también como pastor y también como una persona que se ha involucrado día a día en la comunidad, en los barrios, en las necesidades de la gente, simplemente no nomás como un líder por su iglesia, pero también como persona. Entonces él quiere continuar, pues por eso que se ha postulado a esta elección. Now, what about the Hispanic electorate or the community abroad? Have you seen, or within the district, have you seen some response from them? Have you reached out to them somehow or participated in some type of events where they can hear you? And if so, what's the response? What do they think about you?
I've reached out. The response I got was okay. You know, I'm running against 4 Hispanics. You know, one is the incumbent. One has been city council before. I can't think of the other gentleman if he's been in the seat before. I don't know. And then the other, she's a new candidate as well. And I respect them for what they do or what they have done or whatever. And it's like, wow. Of course, I had to think, how do I reach them when everybody that's running against me sounds like them, looks like them? But at the same time, I grew up right here in West Dallas. The Hispanics are my brothers and sisters too. You know, I know the Bucios. I know, you know, I know the Hernandezes. I live next door to a gentleman that owns a tire shop on Singleton. That's my neighbor. We're really cool. Across the street is his daughter. These are my neighbors. These are people I consider friends because if something happens, I know I could call them. And maybe it might take us a little longer to understand each other, but we can still communicate. And so that's what I put out there to my Hispanic brothers and sisters in the community. Let's communicate, because at the end of the day, we're not just relatable, we are the same.
Al final del día, somos los mismos, constituyentes, ciudadanos, residentes, personas que quieren ver desarrollo. Ya no quieren ver edificios de las compañías conglomeradas y de, digamos, corporaciones, y que la gente continúe y los barrios continúen totalmente descuidados. A la suerte del crimen, de la falta de recursos, de la falta de una buena educación, de la falta de las necesidades primarias y decentes que se merecen los constituyentes en el Distrito 6. Y sí, conocemos los nombres de los incumbentes, de previas administraciones, pero todo sigue igual o peor. So what I'm saying, you know, in retrospective is that, yes, I know incumbents, previous administrations, but still the same. There's no change. It's been completely neglected. And do we need more of the same? 5 people running against you.
Yeah. Four running against you.
Well, I mean, four. Yeah, with you is 5. Okay, yeah. Four. And they're all Hispanic?
Yeah.
And what they have to bring to the table?
No disrespect to any of them, but the truth is everybody started talking about inclusion when I mentioned inclusion. And the fact of the matter is they're not the ones that's left out. We have a Hispanic or Latino incumbent. So of course, they know a lot of the same people that don't look like me. But I believe, I don't know Omar like that. I don't know Monica like that. I don't know Tony like that. I met Wendy. She's a wonderful lady. We sound alike. I think we want some of the same things for the community. She lives not far from me. I don't know where Omar lives. He doesn't live in our community. I don't know where Monica lives. She doesn't live in our community. They say they do. They say they live close, but you don't know what's going on with District 6 because you only cater to the parts that really don't need you. I think Mr. Tony lives out here somewhere. I think. It's Tony funny. But what they bring to the table, I would say all except Wendy bring the same old rhetoric to the table, which is catering to the parts and the people of the district who need less. And they do not show enough attention to the people or the parts of the district who need more. Our budgets are there, but they're managed terribly. Our resources are there, but there's no equity. And we're still giving handouts to people that don't need them. We need to hand over some of these resources that are rightfully belong to the people of the community, not just to developers and big builders and things of that nature. I believe I'm one of the biggest investors in West Dallas. I invest my time and my energy, my resources, my little knowledge that I have, my money, my mentorship, and I want to give that to the whole district. So I don't know what they bring to the table, but that's what I bring.
Mr. Thomas, very interesting. We use, your statements about exactly what you said. Also, it's important when you refer to the ones less needing, you're referring to the corporations, to the big companies.
Yes.
But in the community, nada.
No.
Nothing. Okay. Bien, estaba haciendo hincapié, candidato, para el Distrito 6, que él no ve nada nuevo que traigan a la mesa los demás candidatos, a excepción de Wendy. Wendy, no hemos tenido toda la oportunidad de hablar con ella, pero si ella se acerca con nosotros, vamos a estar en espera, ya le hemos hablado varias ocasiones y esperamos que nos acompañen en una entrevista de Radar Político con su servidor Gilberto Cortés. También quiero dar las gracias por su atención a todos ustedes y también por su interés en el mejoramiento de las condiciones de vida de nuestros niños, de sus familias y también la prosperidad del Distrito 6. To wrap it up, what's the final thoughts, before May 1st?
April 19th through the 27th is early voting. Get to your nearest election polls. Do not let them stop you. I'm number one on your ballot, Earl D. Thomas. Vote for me. Those are my thoughts. Why? Because I'm everything that we need, everything that we've been asking for, everything that we've been praying for, everything that we've been crying over. We don't need another politician, someone who's seeking a political career. We don't need that. We need someone that's going to fulfill and work purpose. That's a part of our culture as humans. And I have a plan that's going to help with that. It's called the Help Center. That's just a start. It stands for giving hope, evolving, leading, and positioning people to live an advantageous, happy, and successful life. What is the Help Center? It's a source with resources, and it's a resource for the community. And this is going to bring in jobs and partnerships, not just for us, but for our young people. Because one thing I am very adamant about, and that's our future. I have a 21-year-old son and an 18-year-old daughter who go to Grambling State University. I want for all of our youth what I want for my children. And that's to have a future not depicted on what the color of your skin is, but what your abilities are to excel in life. I have a plan that's going to lessen the violence, lessen the street racing, open up doors for younger entrepreneurs or older entrepreneurs who say, hey, it's not too late for me. I believe in humanity, not the finer parts of the community and then overlook the people that really, really need equity and resources and money and help. My plan is to help the one that cannot afford those taxes that they are study trying to shoot through the roof, to get people that look like me and some people that look like you that's not a part of gentrification out of the community. And I want us to work together at doing that. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're a part of District 6, I want you to be a part of what's getting ready to happen. Vote Earl D. Thomas. You can check me out, earldthomas.com, and I'm on all your social media outlets at Earl D. Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Thank you, Pastor. Lo escucharon de un muy respetable líder, pastor, y que verdaderamente se interesa en las cosas que preocupan, que lastiman a la comunidad. Él les ha reiterado a través de nuestros micrófonos y en pantalla y en sus propias palabras. Él no es un político de carrera. Él no es un político. Él es una persona que está ofreciendo todos sus recursos, sus conocimientos, su buen corazón, su ayuda a la gente, su interacción con las comunidades, y está persiguiendo buscar las oportunidades que ya existen y que han sido denegadas a la comunidad de aquí, sin importar raza, color o convicción política. Está refiriendo a que él es una persona cuya agenda es humana. Somos humanos y merecemos lo mejor. Y ahí están los recursos. Él está pidiendo que desde el 19, que empieza la votación temprana, se acerquen, ejerzan su poder del voto y voten. Vayan a votar, porque el poder ahorita lo tienen ustedes. Después del 21 de mayo, no van a tener el poder de cambiar las cosas. Escojan a su mejor candidato, al candidato que ustedes crean es el mejor, y buena suerte y bienvenidos y muchas gracias nuevamente. Thank you again. It's been a pleasure and being with you in this program, and I hope you exercise the right to cast your vote, make your choice, your best choice. And you are the power.
Absolutely.
You are the power now. And make your best choice. Thank you again. Muchas gracias. Y nuevamente bienvenidos. Les hablaron el pastor Thomas.
Yes. If we ever do this again, let me know, because you clean. And I look like a kid. I love the tie, man. You clean.
Doesn't matter. Me está mencionando, bueno, del buen vestir y bueno, él es you are the candidate, and that's the most important thing. Lo más importante es que él es el candidato, y está tan simple y sencillo como lo conozcan a él. Pero no nomás por lo que trae puesto, sino por lo que tiene en su mente, lo que tiene en your heart, en su corazón. Muy amables, gracias. Y hasta la próxima. Bienvenidos. Okay. So, let's see.